This is your stop.
Hello, this is leepdean and this is my end of the season video for Thorpe Park Resort 2018. What an amazing year it has been for Thorpe Park Resort and all the Merlin attractions this year. I'd just like to thank all the Thorpe Park staff and of course the management team for putting on such an amazing year of events, attractions and experiences. This year's been an absolutely amazing year for me at Thorpe Park, so I've met so many fans, so many enthusiasts. I've been managed to meet Jack Silkstone, Theme Park Screamers, Miss T, and of course so many others, including Matt and Harry. So this year, what have we put so far? We've managed to realise that this year was of course Year of the Walking Dead at Thorpe Park Resort, which brought their main attraction, The Walking Dead The Ride, which was of course a re-theme of the old classic X No Way Out and X, which opened back in 1995. And of course what they managed to do with that attraction was outstanding. The amount of theming and detail they've managed to put, including the great big watchtower out the front, the pre-show, the whole ride area, the theming, the animatronics they've put in, the scares, it's all there, the music, the reminder score, everything is there that you'd expect from a Thorpe Park attraction. I mean, yes, it wasn't groundbreaking, nothing like that, but it was just absolutely an attraction. I felt Thorpe Park is, especially because it was Year of the Walking Dead as well, it matched the whole atmosphere around the park. The only bit that looks out of place is still they've got the old colour scheme for the pyramid, sort of turquoise and orange. But maybe we'll see a repaint of that in the future, who knows, but it's still a fantastic attraction for this year. And of course, to bring out The Walking Dead The Ride, they decided to have an expo there this year, which was due to happen on Tuesday the 13th of March, but due to the very poor weather, it got cancelled, unfortunately. But then the expo got relocated, and of course the new date was Saturday the 7th of April, which I managed to go to, which was amazing to see because we got to see all the old X No Way Out / X theming. We got, of course, memories of theme park there, and it was one of the directors from Thorpe Park talking about the changes that have been taking place from X No Way Out, the history of it, and what's basically about how they managed to create The Walking Dead The Ride, which is absolutely fascinating. And of course, at the end of it, we all got to see the original X vehicle out the front of the marquee, and of course, we all got the Expo badge, which was lovely to see, and that's when I got to meet Jack Silkstone. He was in the queue line, and I'm in one of his videos when he was going to the expo. I'm walking past him, and we had to have a nice little chat, which was nice. So that was really, really nice. And of course, throughout the year, they've of course had changes throughout this park. This year, they decided to repaint the old tidal wave wet zone roof. It's been repainted a nice blue colour. They've cleaned out the whole of that pond sort of lake area to make it all nice and clean looking. They've still got the big water tower effect working, which was good. And of course they've added some new music, sort of the WWTP loop around the area. We'll get back to that later on. And of course, around the Nemesis Inferno area, they've now changed the Nemesis Inferno music to the new I'm a Score Jungle loop, which I personally really like. It's still got the sort of original sort of Nemesis Inferno beat hidden away in the background to all the jungle ambience and sort of islands music. I really like it, especially the new Dispatch music. It adds a lot to the area. Could still use a bit of a clean up in there, though it's a bit dusty and it needs a bit of repaint. But it's good to see the mist effects in the tunnel and that all still working, which is good. And like the fire effects and swarm, that's up and running again, and the water effects are back, which is good. So we've got all that, and then of course they've just given the park sort of a general tidy up around sort of like Colossus, Lost City areas, but it looks a lot more nicer, especially the beach area, and as well they cleaned all that up as well, because when they had this year they had some events and they've really given it a nice clean lease of life, which is good. A bit like what they did with The Walking Dead The Ride and X this year. They've sort of given it a new fresh of life, which it needed because it's been there for so long. It's good to see them wanting to keep that ride there, even though it's not the same as it has been, but they've extended its lifespan, which I really, really appreciate the park on doing. And of course, throughout the year, they've had all different events. We've had Love Island Lakes, Ministry of Sound, Zombie Hunt, and of course then we had the Fright Nights. So we'll start off with Love Island Lakes. It was based on the Amity Beach area. It was sort of a meet and greet slash fun sort of dance area where there's sort of like a live DJ, photo opportunities, booths, you can stay in the pool or the beach and sort of party the night away, which was really, really interesting to see what they did. But I really liked it. It was a good event and they had loads of sort of picture opportunities and of course different attractions, which normally you're not able to take photos on the beach because they've got little kids there, but because it was Love Island Lakes, they allowed you, which was good to see the park at a slightly different perspective. And it was good to see the whole park area music change to the dance music. So it was really, really good. Really enjoyed the bass throughout the whole island. It was brilliant, love that. Then of course that was every Thursday, Friday and Saturday in the summer, which was Love Island Lakes. Hopefully it returns next year. Who knows, we'll have to wait and see. Then of course we had the Ministry of Sound events on select Saturday nights throughout the summer. I didn't manage to do that this year, but next year, 2019, I'm definitely going to that. I'm looking forward to that. It's got very good reviews, and of course you get to run in the dark, which is always a bonus at Thorpe Park Resort. Then of course, from the 23rd of July to the 3rd of September, they brought out Zombie Hunt, which was taking place in Old Town behind the, sort of going along the old Canada Creek railway line on the opposite direction of platform 15. Basically it was sort of a zombie, sort of laser quest thing where you go around shooting all these zombies who are after you. And basically it was good because it was like little sort of hints to the old attractions, like the platform 15, Saw Alive, Blair Witch, Cabin in the Woods, which was quite nice, and a couple of others which I can't get on the top of it, but there was quite a few in there, and the theming was really good, the soundtrack was good. It was only £1.50 per person. Yeah, can't complain, it was really, really good. I hope Zombie Hunt returns next year for 2019. That's going to be later on when we're going to think about thoughts of 2019, that'll be on there. So yes, and then of course we move on to the Fright Nights, which was from the 5th of October to the 31st of October this year. This year they had so many attractions for Thorpe Parks. The Fright Nights this year, so I couldn't find the map. Okay, so this year is the most attractions they've ever had for Fright Nights. We had, of course, Walking Dead Do or Die, Walking Dead Living Nightmare, Blair Witch, Dead Creek Woods, Saw Alive, Platform 15 and Vulcan Peak, as well as Containment returning, and also we had some encounters and scares. We had Terror at Amity High, the Screenplex Cinema, and of course Big Top Showtime. Right, we'll start with the scare encounters and interactions. We'll start at Big Top Showtime, which this year is taking place in the Dome. It's a shame that the Big Top Maze did not return this year, but it's good to see that they had parts of Big Top theming around sort of the entrance dome area, and of course they made a stage in the dome itself, and they've done like a little sort of comedy sort of thing where they're juggling, and then of course they all come out at you and run and a lot of people were scared, but they wouldn't expect them to come out jumping at you in your face. It was good to see the clowns back this year. Of course they had the I'm a Score song playing in the background really loudly in the dome. People enjoyed it. People were having their food at Finn's Bar and Grill, got a right fright out of it. And of course this year Finn's Bar and Grill, that was where they were doing all the Fright Night food, including the Turbulence Burger and a load of other ones. So it was good to see that back this year, but they didn't really advertise it very well at all. They had it around some of the loops around Terror Amity High. I'll talk about it in a minute. So yeah, it was good to see the Big Top Showtime this year, but hopefully next year, 2019, the Big Top Maze does return. It was a greatly missed attraction this year. Fingers crossed, so hey ho. And then we'll go to Screenplex Cinema 4D. I did not do this attraction, unfortunately, due to I was doing all the other attractions and experiences this year. So that's a shame, but hopefully it returns next year. I'll definitely be doing that. And of course then we go to Stealth Plaza, the Terror at Amity High. It's Big Bob's birthday bash and it's homecoming, and the actors are all vampires, basically after fresh blood. We had so many different actors there, it was really, really good. We had the cheerleaders, we had the canteen staff, we had footballers, American footballers, we had the prom king and queen, we had the nervous zombie, which was good, and of course we had the real cool hip nice stud there, which was really good. It was really a scare. It was a scare that they were chasing people, but they were doing photo opportunities where you can go and take your picture with them, selfies, which was really good. They were always in character, but like all the Friday night scare maze, were always in character. That was always really good to see. Loved that every moment of it. And of course, next to the plaza area and stuff, they had for 4 days there, they had the Fanta Twisted Carnival. Now Fanta Twisted Carnival was an interesting take this year, because last year it was 2017, it was a VR experience in a lift, which is on my YouTube. But this year they went for a completely different sort of not big top, but sort of illusions area. And then you've got the main attraction itself. Because the main attraction this year was in there. You went in, down the corridor, turn left into some rooms. You go into the room and it's pitch black, you can't see anything. You go in there, and all of a sudden, big light front it comes on. It's a great big vending machine in there. And literally, you get all these demonic voices telling you to press the button for the drinks. You press it, and all these effects go off in the room, like a big screen. They've got different sort of things on the roof moving to get you. And then you get all this. I'm not going to give it away because hopefully they bring back next year, but you got that. And then you go out of that attraction, opens up, and if you go out, they get a free can of Fanta with an exclusive Snapchat filter on it. I'll add the picture on this video in a bit, which I really liked. Hope that returns next year. And that was a free attraction, which was good to see Fanta still up and running for their Friday nights. And of course, Friday nights this year, they also decided to do the little pin badge. They done Friday night 2018 one, and of course, about 2 weeks before it's due to shut for the season, a platform 15 badge, which was really, really good. I like that. Hopefully next year they bring out more pin badges. It'll be nice. And I've got the normal sort of generic stuff every Friday nights there as well, so yeah, that was good. And Friday nights they decided to do some sort of fairground looking food stands to sort of help the park sort of get people get their food, which was good. There was 2 by Denver Ghost Train and 1 by Old Town, which was good. So that was good. I didn't do containment this year, unfortunately. Hopefully next year I'll be able to do that. So yeah. Then we'll do Vulcan Peak. Now Vulcan Peak was a new attraction this year. It was in the I'm a Celebrity building. Basically sort of a hooded maze. A bit like the Passing was, I think it was. That was another hooded maze. It was, when it first opened, it wasn't very good. It was sort of weak themed. 1 or 2 actors in there to scare you while you're wearing this bag on your head. And then towards the end of it, you didn't have to wear it throughout the whole attraction. And they sort of had a few more actors in it and more scares. So it got better, but it still wasn't a very good maze, you know. Considering what Sanctum was like last year, we'll get back to that in a minute. So and that had a fear rating of 4, Vulcan Peak, but I actually quite liked it. It wasn't that scary at all, you know, but I actually liked it. And then of course next door to the I'm a Celebrity building you had you had Blair Witch returning for 2018. It had a year off from the park. It was good to see Blair Witch back. It's still got the sort of same story as before, but there's a lot more theming in there. I felt more sort of foliage from the trees, using the cover of darkness more, which was good. You had a crawl section this year, and of course the big sheds back with smoke and strobes in it. Really good attraction. In the daytime that had a fear factor of 3, and at night it had a fear factor of 4. And yet Vulcan Peak had 4. Blair Witch was definitely better than Vulcan Peak, no doubt. I'm sure everybody else will agree with me. And then you go towards Old Town. Before you get there, you go to the classic Living Nightmare. That's now running for the second year running. It came last Friday night. It's still a fantastic attraction. It's still all the scares. All the actors are always really, really good in there. The storyline's fantastic about the infected come to get you. In the summertime, they did do Living Nightmare Extreme, where they had the place absolutely crammed, packed full of zombies. That was absolutely fantastic. It's a shame they didn't do that for Friday nights, but I can see why, because they had all the actors in the other attractions. So please, Living Nightmare, hopefully next year you will return. It's still a fantastic attraction and always gets the good scares. And of course that has a fear rating of 5. Now that is good for a maze. I'll personally say that's one of the better mazes at Thorpe Park, Living Nightmare. It's a classic now, it's been going for 2 years. Next year, beef it up a bit more, maybe an extreme version, who knows? So that was Living Nightmare. Then you go into Old Town. Now there's two attractions there. You've got the classic Platform 15 and Dead Creek Woods. Now we'll move to the Dead Creek Woods first. The Dead Creek Woods goes down the path of Zombie Hunt, which was interesting. It's still all the old theme from Zombie Hunt there, just about the laser guns shoot the zombies, you know, but it's still really good. The Infected, this time they go on that storyline about do not drink the water as you'll become infected. Basically there's different symptoms of the sort of diseased, but it's still really good. Still got the chainsaw in there, which was really good to see, you know, so you still get good scares in Dead Creek Woods. I'd say it wasn't as good as Zombie Hunt was good, but Dead Creek Woods was sort of trying to push the sort of theming a bit more of actors and theming. But I still like Dead Creek Woods. It's a good attraction. Hopefully it does return next year with a bit more intensity. And of course Dead Creek Woods had a fear factor of 2 in the morning, in the daylight, and 3 in the night. I still say it's quite a good maze. It's better than Dead Creek. It's better than Vulcan Peak, and that's got a 4 rating. Oh dear. Something's not right with the ratings, I'll tell you that much. Then of course next door you had the returning classic of Platform 15. Now this year for Platform 15 they did not use the safety spiel from last year with the voiceover, which is a shame, but I can see why, because bang next door you've got Dead Creek Woods. It's still as good as ever as maze, still all the fire effects, the tunnel, about Sleeper Express and the conductor who did not make it. It was never seen again. There's been trespassers in the restricted areas. It's still absolutely fantastic. Of course, at the start you get about 3 or 4 different people who you can have tell you the story, and they slightly change it, so it's worth going on that one again. It's still fantastic, the actors ever, the fire effects, just the atmosphere of it. I mean, I definitely say it's better at night. It's got a 3 fear rating in the daylight, Platform 15, and a 4 at night. Still a fantastic attraction. It's a classic as well now. So yes, hopefully Platform 15 does return next year, maybe more actors, maybe new scenery, who knows, and the village is still there. So then we go towards Saw the Ride, and of course then you've got Saw Alive, which is 8 years old this year. It'll be 9 years in 2019. Still a classic, so it hadn't changed much at all about it. It was saying more terrifying for 2018 Fright Nights. All they really done was made the actors act a bit more sort of jumpy, so get in your face a bit more, but it's still a good attraction. I still like it. It's not perfect, but it can do with some new refreshed scenes maybe, or you could add something from the new Jigsaw film from 2017. I'm quite surprised they didn't add anything for that, because I thought, because they opened Living Nightmare Extreme in the summer, and of course it didn't open on, and it was meant to be Saw Alive opening originally, then they opened up Living Nightmare again. We were expecting Saw Alive maybe to change or not return for Fright Nights 2018, but that did not seem to be the case. It returned unchanged, just a few more actors trying to jump scare you. And of course Saw Alive has got the 5 fear rating this year. It's still fantastic. It's still a real good start of that one. It still gets you in the mood for Fright Nights. It's still a fantastic attraction. Will it return for 2019? Who knows? And then you go towards Lost City by Zodiac. Last year that was where the Big Top maze was. This year they're using it for Walking Dead Do or Die. Now they're using the shipping containers from Containment. Not Containment, they're using the shipping containers from Sanctum. It's basically Sanctum 2.0, because last year Sanctum was really poor. That was down by the Swarm Island. This year they decided to give it a refresh. They called it Do or Die. You go through the shipping containers this year, which you used to do in Experiment 10, which was nice. It was quite intense that one, because you start off by going through a big American school bus, and it's talking about you need to get out as quickly as you can. There's infected, and this other actor comes on and basically sort of snaps the neck of the other person. And they go through like all the scenes, like the garden, the washing hanging on the line. They go through all these shipping containers with smoke, strobes, a butcher in there, people getting their heads chopped off. Really intense, that one. That really runs well, that one. Hopefully Do or Die does return next year, but hopefully relocate it, because we really want Big Top to return. Please, Thorpe Park, bring Big Top back, we'd love it. And of course Do or Die had a fear rating of 3 in the morning in the daylight and 5 at night. Now that was really good. Now that was all the Fright Night attractions this year. So, improvements for 2019. What would we like to see for 2019? Well, for 2019, I'd like to see sort of a general clean-up of around sort of the station by Colossus, Nemesis and Venom. There's so much dust in them, it's like a pigeon coop on Saw the Ride. So sort of a general tidy up around certain areas. Some of the queue lines could be repainted a little bit, sort of refresh some of the theming in certain areas like that. We'd like to see the I'm a Score soundtrack. Possibly, hopefully, we would like some of the areas to sort of turn it down a little bit, because it's a little bit too loud sometimes, it hurts your ears. But I think it's still good what they've done for I'm Score. I hope they do not touch the Swarm Island music there, because that's iconic. A bit like Saw the Rides area. It's generic, but it works for that area. And of course the WWTP loop around Stealth and Tidal Wave and Amity Beach. We do not want them to touch that, because that is such a classic. But speaking of Friday nights, one thing they did for the music, this year the music was done by Nick Hudson. He done a really good job with the new sort of area music he done around the island for Friday nights. He done a brand new sort of loop for WWTP, which was going on about how it's normal to sort of give yourself into fear and sort of panic, and they were sort of giving away sort of the hint towards sort of Amity area, the Homecoming, Fear. And of course you've got to hear some of the sort of funny spoof versions of their old adverts, you know, which was like, which was quite funny to hear, but it was really good, it adds to the atmosphere, especially all the Friday night loops Nick done this year, especially on the entrance dome, Rush, WWTP, he done the end of the day music, the bridge, he done loads, it was really good to hear it. So Nick, if you're watching, fantastic on the music for Friday night this year. Please bring it back for 2019. I love it. So that was that. And of course, it's good to see that all the Swarm fire effects now are working. The Swarm fire effects are all working. Water effects started to work again. Not all of it, but most of it's working. A bit like the mist effects on Nemesis Inferno. That seems to be working greatly again, which is good to see. As well for the park, are we going to get a proper hotel? I mean, Shark Hotel's good, but it's shipping containers. Surely Thorpe Park, you should go for what Chedington Norton Tower's done and got a proper hotel. I know you've got some problems with plan permission, but it'd be nice to have that as there. And of course, because you're paying a lot of money to stay over at that resort, just to stay in some shipping containers overnight. You know, even though I know you're on the island like no other, but instead you've got hotels, proper hotels, which are a lot cheaper. So who knows? And of course for 2019 we'd like to see, for merchandise, we'd like to see a few more pin badges released. Is it possible to get a Rumba Rapids badge? Possibly, that'd be nice. And because they've done all the Platform 15 badge for Friday nights, could we have maybe like a Saw Alive, a Big Top, Walking Dead Living Nightmare, badges like that? I mean, they've done merchandise for like Zombie Hunt and that. When that came out, they had like bandage, armbands, sort of bandanas, t-shirts, which was quite nice, you know. So who knows the merchandise next year, you know. I'd like to see a new Darren Brown's Ghost Train pin badge as well, because they haven't had one of them for ages, which is a bit of a shame, you know. So hopefully that does improve. The Slammer and Loggers Leap. We know Slammer's now left the resort due to not able to get the parts and mods. There was only 2 Sky Swatters ever made. Hopefully that does return. A bit like Loggers Leap. What is going to happen for Loggers Leap next year? Who knows? I'd like to see Loggers Leap possibly have a refresh. I mean, look what happened to Chesington this year. They had Tiger Rock open, sort of refresh of Dragon Falls. Who knows? Possibly that might be their big 2020 project. We don't know, but 2019 is going to be an interesting year, and seeing what they bring on the resort. As well as other things around the resort, is there going to be an annual pass opening day next year? Because they were due to have it with the Expo last year, but because of the weather it got sort of cancelled off and changed to another day where it wasn't really an exclusive evening. It was just, you know, pass holders going on the mazes early, and the Expo, you know, so who knows. So, and hopefully next year, of course, Thorpe Park Resort, it's their big 40th birthday. What are they going to do for their 40th? I know they've got some events planned. They haven't hinted too much. Well, they've had a little bit of a teaser video at the end of the season, but I don't personally know what they're going to do. It'll be interesting to see. So yeah, that is pretty much what I think of for 2018 at Thorpe Park Resort. It'll be interesting to see what they do for next year. I'm really looking forward to getting my Merlin annual pass. Me and my brother are getting the pass next year. So we'll be definitely going on a lot more trips and, you know, doing loads of reviews and POVs, which is good. So yes. So thank you very much and goodbye from leepdean, and of course the end of the season 2018 review at Thorpe Park Resort. Thank you very much and goodbye from leepdean. Goodbye.
Dun 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 dun. Little pig, let me in.
You guys, this is Lucille and she is awesome.
The dead. They walk the island. Will you ride to survive? Or walk with the dead?
The Walking Dead, the ride, at Thorpe Park Resort. Pay for a day, come back free for a year.
Take me